Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 top IPO stocks for March 2021. So these young companies have very strong momentum and they have good growth as well. And they are so young, so they have excellent future potential for strong price increases. So before I start right off with the first tech IPO stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note. Please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now and hit the notifications bell. And also please subscribe so that you do not miss part 2 of the top IPO stocks for March 2021, which I will be releasing soon. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top IPO stock for March 2021. And as you can see it in the charts, it is FUV, Akimoto. Here you can see the long-term chart of Akimoto, and as you can see, Akimoto is a quite young company. It had its IPO in September 2017. And why does it matter with the young companies? Because the super performance phases of 95% of the stocks is in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays to watch out for young companies with strong growth characteristics and very strong momentum behind them, because they could have huge runs in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So always look out for companies like that. And this is what we do here on the channel. And yeah, today we are with the Akimoto stock. And as you can see, yeah, we traded sideways for quite some years here. And then we had a breakdown in the stock, yeah, a downtrend, and we matched the low in March 2020. In Akimoto, we reversed from that low, traded to the upside. We broke the downtrend around May 2020 and formed a nice and strong uptrend. And now we see as well the moving averages are stacking up one above the other quite nicely. So Akimoto is looking to be in a very strong trend. And when we look in the short-term chart here, we see an uptrend as well. Here we see a base building phase from July till around November. End of November, we have building a base, and we had a strong breakout, traded to the upside, built another base. We broke out of that base here, and here we broke out of it, traded strongly to the upside, and yeah, and recently we came back around nearly 50% in Akimoto since February 4th. We have been trading downwards, and yeah, I think now we are at an attractive entry level. And when we look in the short long-term chart, for instance, here we bounce off the 100-day moving average. Here we undercut the 100-day a little bit. So but it looks like we bounce off the 150-day moving average to the upside. And yeah, for instance, here we bounce off the 50-day. This would go around the 50-day rebound here. And yeah, now it looks like we are bouncing again, although 100-day moving average and trading to the upside. So I think soon we could continue with the run in Akimoto. So when we look at the growth characteristics of Akimoto, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's negative, it's minus 30%, but the sales growth is way strong with 339%, and the relative strength rating is excellent as well with 97. So I think with these characteristics, Akimoto is definitely a top tech IPO stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Akimoto. So now let's have a look at the next tech IPO stock for 2021. And it is Nwk Mohawk Group. Here you can see the long-term chart of Mohawk Group. And as you can see, Mohawk had its IPO in June 2019. After its IPO, it moved sideways and it could not break out of that IPO base. No, it broke down from the downtrend, and we made the low in March 2020 with that downtrend. We reversed from that low, traded to the upside. We broke the downtrend, let's say around July 2020, and They continue to trade to the upside and form a nice uptrend in Mohawk. The short-term chart here, we see an uptrend. Here we see a period of pause, a base building phase, a breakout of that pausing phase to the upside. And yeah, let's say since around December 2020, we have been forming a very strong uptrend in Mohawk. Strong momentum move. I mean, December traded around, let's say $9, and now we traded up to $48. Strong momentum move in quite a short time period, and now we came back a little bit. Currently we are trading at $39 and looks like we are bouncing off the 20-day moving average. For instance, here we bounce off the 20-day moving average, here we bounce off the 10-day moving average, bounce off the 10-day moving average, again bounce off the 10-day, and here of the 20-day. So I think soon a bounce could happen to the upside and a continuation of the overall uptrend. I think this could happen very soon. When we look at the growth characteristics for Mohawk, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish. It's minus 81%. But the sales growth, it's very good with 71%. And the relative strength rating, it's excellent with 97. So I think with these characteristics, Mohawk is also a top tech IPO stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Mohawk. So now let's have a look at the next tech IPO stock. And it is GRWG, Growth Generation. Here you can see the long-term chart of Growth Generation, and as you can see, Growth Generation was a recent IPO in November 2016. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base here and had a breakout to the upside. We traded strongly to the upside, came heavily back, and then we had we made the high in January 2018 here. We traded backwards and had a correcting phase which lasted for quite some time, correcting sideways phase, and we could break out of that phase in May 2020 and form a nice and strong uptrend since then. The short-term chart, you see that uptrend here, strong uptrend. See here, for instance, bounce of the 50-day moving average to the upside. Here, bounce of the 20-day moving average to the upside. Bounce of the 40-day moving average traded to the upside. Bounce of the 50-day moving average traded to the upside. Here, bounce of the 20-day, we traded to the upside. Bounce of the 20-day again. Here, bounce of the 20-day. Here, bounce of the 30-day, and here of the, or let's say here, bounce of the 40-day moving average to the upside, and now we came back in the stock in Growth Generation, and yeah, we undercut the 50-day a little bit, I think, and soon I think we could see again a bounce in Growth Generation. So I think from a technical standpoint, Growth Generation is looking good here, and we get in cheap. And when we look at the growth characteristics, these are excellent as well for Growth Generation. EPS growth is very strong with 104%. The sales growth is also very strong with 138%. And the relative strength rating, it's excellent with 96. So with these characteristics, Growth Generation is definitely a top tech IPO stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Growth Generation. So now let's have a look at the next top tech IPO stock. And it is Fbr Fiber International. Here you can see the long-term chart of Fiber, and as you can see, Fiber was an IPO in June 2019. After its IPO, it built a nice IPO base here, and it broke out of that IPO base in April 2020 and formed a nice and strong uptrend since then. And in the short-term chart, we see that strong uptrend. See here, for instance, here we bounce off the 30-day moving average, traded to the upside. And here, for instance, we bounced off the 40-day moving average, traded to the upside. Here we undercut the 50-day a little bit. It looks like a bounce of this was a bounce of the 100-day moving average, the green line. You see it in the long-term chart, traded to the upside here. And yeah, here we bounce off the 30-day moving average, bounce off the 40-day moving average. Here kind of bounce off the 50-day, undercut it a little bit, but still we bounced. And yeah, now it looks like we are bouncing. For instance, here like we bounced off the 50-day here. I mean, still we could come back to the 50-day, but still I think that the entry level where we are trading at the moment is attractive still. So I think from a technical standpoint, fiber is looking good here. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish. It's minus 48%. But the sales growth, it's very good. It's 89%. And the relative strength rating, it's excellent. It's 96. So with these characteristics, Fiber is definitely a top tech IPO stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Fiverr. So now we come to the last top tech IPO stock for today, and it is FTCH, Farfetch. Here you can see the long-term chart of Farfetch, and as you can see, Farfetch had its IPO in September 2018. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base here and could not break out of that IPO base. No, it broke down and formed a downtrend, and we made the low with that downtrend around March 2020. We reversed from that low, traded to the upside, and we formed a nice and strong uptrend since then in Farfetch. And yeah, in the short-term chart, you see that uptrend as well. Here you see a period of pause in that uptrend, a base building phase. And in that period of pause, we see as well, we kind of bounced of the 100-day, a little bit above the 100-day, we bounced to the upside. And yeah, and then here we broke out of that base period of pause and had a very strong momentum move to the upside. And now it looks like we are building a new base here. A little bit, yeah, a little bit volatile with these candles here, but we are building a new base, and I think soon we could break out of that base and continue with that strong uptrend in Farfetch. When we look at the growth characteristics, these are excellent for Farfetch. I mean, the EPS growth is super strong with 405%, and the sales growth is also way good with 73%, and the relative strength rating, it's good with 94. So with these characteristics, Farfetch is definitely a top tech IPO stock for 2021. Okay, I hope in that video are some nice tech IPO stocks which you can use for your research. So this was the last stock, and I hope and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel with the link in the description below, so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also so that you do not miss part 2 of the tech IPO stocks for March 2021, which I will be releasing soon. I had fun making that video, and I think this year will be an exciting and very profitable stock trading year with all this fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central bank and governments. And this massive liquidity will propel stock prices higher and higher, I think. And at the end of the year, I think we will have very strong price increases in growth and momentum stocks and in the overall market as well. So I think it definitely pays if you do a lot of research, stock research this year, and select the best stocks for your portfolios, because I think we will have huge runs going on, and yeah, so I think this is a good decision to do. Okay, so thank you for watching that video, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.